I have caught the thieving mind, which has been stealing my imperishable wealth of divine identity. All your problem is in and through the mind. This point has to be understood. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Brahmanandam Param Sukhadam Kevalam Jnana Murtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachal Sarvati Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om. Adoration to Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vasishta in Upashama Prakarana, Section 9. King Janaka continues to practice reflection. If you are a reflected sun in a jar of water, the only solution to your transient existence, the only solution to your shaking existence is to realize I am the sun. And the method adopted is reflection. As long as you are a reflection, you have to practice reflection. Now go after confection. Those who have been condemned to be decapitated are delighted when instead they are going to be only whipped. That's the profound study of human happiness. Happiness is what everybody wants. But to understand that happiness and how to get it, that's a profound purpose of life. And that the central plan, central mission of all religions of the world. All, when we say all, they're not all, there are different aspects. So first to understand objectively, with a mind that is calm and ready to study, you will study the world in a profounder way. If you are yourself not in a state of delusion or not in a state of confusion, if you are yourself experiencing confusion, the confusion, the state of mind cannot study the world. You may study it, but you are simply going to add your confusion. So then, coming to the point, everyone wants happiness. But how to attain that goal? Happiness that is unshaking, eternal, absolute. That's the essential reality in every individual. Every soul, even spiders and cockroaches, and ducks and swans and tigers and bears, dogs and cats. I'm not ignoring human beings. All, every moment, every soul is exerting how to be happy. But predicament is so entrenched in complications that even that idea, I want to be happy, is kept behind. I only want the thought to be removed. Only want the pain to go away. I'm giving you a very crude way to answer. In other words, if you go into the deeper study, happiness is in 3 stages. Tamasic happiness, Rajasic happiness, Sattvic happiness. Tamasic happiness is a fake happiness, delusional. If you drink alcohols, etc., and or take some medicament that makes you unconscious, physically senseless, the pain goes away, you are very much restful. That's the tamasic happiness. And also, if your happiness is based upon seeing your enemy revenged, etc., you go on suffering no matter how wonderful situation you are facing. But you are simply focused on when will that dust, the negative personality, will be punished. So that type of happiness is tamasic. Then there is Rajasic happiness. Rajasic happiness is simply distractions. You go after so many desires. You want to be happy and you ask your mind, where is happy? And mind extends 100 of tentacles. These tentacles saying, there is happiness, there is happiness, there is happiness. Sattvic happiness, in order. That type of happiness that puts you in line with fulfilling the purpose of your life. But even Sattvic happiness has to go into 2 stages. One stage, Sattvic happiness, has not dominated over Rajas and Tamas. Then that Sattvic happiness is simply an idea, the world is full of pain, where should I go? And stay cozy and comfortable. So you have one side, you are leaving the world of pain as real, and then you are going into a state where you are rid of that. At the same time, you know that you can't stay in it all the time. Simple way of saying, you do good karmas led by Sattva, but not for liberation, but for bhoga, celestial enjoyment. If that type of happiness has to go through a change. If you have studied Ramayana, Vibhishana goes through it. In the early stage, is Sattvic. But his Sattvic movement is under the control of Ravana and Kumbhakarna. Later, he comes to a state where Ravana kicks him out. Now Sattvic happiness has only one source to look for, Rama. When you come to that state of Sattva, then you are in the right state. But until this whole process, you never experience real happiness. Every type of happiness you are experiencing is only a release of some tension, moving away from some stress, but not real. So two people in this world experience joy only because it creates an illusion of turning away from a greater pain to a lesser pain. Money made you happy, but money itself is a pain. You have to protect it. You have to multiply it. You have to save it from being cheated, yourself being cheated. So it is not all gain. There is no substantial happiness in the objects of the world. If that were so, then your happiness will depend upon collecting all those objects that give happiness. According to you, and people do actually, according to their concept, even just come to kitchen reality. The concept that certain laddus are especially made and they are very delightful. Now, therefore, you have ordered tons of those sweets and created a whole portion of your building dedicated it, all refrigerated. I'm joking, but idea is, in the same way, people go on collecting things that they think are the source of their happiness. But they don't realize the collection has created a special source of vexation. We'll figure that out. This monkey mind has been deluding my soul for a long, long time. But now I no longer delight in the fickle display of its fiendish dances. For a long time, I have been tied by the ropes of desires and thrown up and down by the fickle thought waves of the mind. You must realize this is a topic at a very advanced stage, where you are being given the statement that all desires, every desire creates agitation in your mind. And led by your desires, you experience going up and down like grains of rice cooking in the boiling pan. You look at the grain, it comes up. I am the highest. It goes down. Janaka says that no more will I place myself in that condition, going up and down, led by desires. But now I intend to attain supreme rest in the self. I consider sankalpa, thought sustained by egoistic vision, to be the mind. giving you some study. What mind is, mind in itself is not a solid reality. It's like look up to the cloud. Cloud looks like substance, something solid, but now analyze it. It is nothing but moisture, water in a sticking to dust particles and all together. And ultimately, as the rays of the sun pass through the cloud goes on disappearing, melting. Mind is similarly like a cloud. And all the thoughts, all your expectations, they are the fabric of the cloud. As you begin to develop spiritual insight, those desires move away, the cloud itself first becomes silvery. The same cloud that was obstructing the sun, now it is shining and is rejoicing, letting the sun pass through. That shift in your sankalpa, the type of sankalpa that making your mind cloud more opaque, instead type of sankalpa that now making it less opaque and letting the sun pass through. This is from impure to pure. And then finally, cloud is not the reality, it just moves away. Oh, how long have I suffered? Again and again, through numerous embodiments, I have imagined my doom, dreaded my death, and grieved over the loss of my dear relatives and possessions. This is simple, there's nothing made up. This is simple fact. Think of anybody's life. Nobody is an exception. Everyone, from the childhood up till now, how many situations you have faced where you imagined your doom, dreaded your death, grieved over the loss of your near and dear ones, and loss of your possessions. But this is the story of only one birth. You have the capacity to bear with it. Understand? Millions of births have gone on. We're not satisfied with it. Janaka says, how long will you continue like that? But now I have attained the termination of all sorrows. I am enlightened. Full revelation, I am. That am I. I am the absolute self. Simple, allegorical way of saying, I am the sun, not reflected suns. But the revelation, I am the sun, is not contradicted by the reflection in a jar. As long as you are seeing this in a profound way. In other words, you can, this is the only reality. You attain liberation while you are in your body, mind, set. But having attained liberation, your experience of double consciousness. One, you are experiencing your bodily reality the reality of the world, practical reality, and you are facing it day by day, just like every day you must eat. When you eat, you must be thorough in chewing it, thorough in cooking it. Similarly, as long as you live, so many duties, so many realities have to be faced in a perfect order. But all this is not contradicting the revelation, I am Brahma. It's not easy to figure out because that requires mind to go through a whole process for a real understanding. Until then, certain figurative picture can give you some idea. Sometimes while you are dreaming, suddenly you develop an awareness that it is a dream. You don't have to wake up from your dream, just develop that awareness. Then the dream continues, but it has done no effect on you. It's rather you are in a deeper level, in a way you are just relaxed and whole dream is kind of a sport, as if you are smiling. You don't have to smile, that's useless. I have caught the thieving mind, which has been stealing my imperishable wealth of divine identity. All your problem is in and through the mind. This point has to be understood. So therefore, focus should be the mind has caused bondage. How did it cause? Allow the same mind work in that direction to understand the cause. Allow the same mind to allow itself to go through a process of purification. Then mind becomes purified. There's a revelation. I am the sun. I am that am I. Your goal is not fabricated by your mind. Your goal is distracted, created, illusions created about your goal through your mind. So therefore, in the realm of mind, whatever you attain is not real. In other words, the absolute self, the true nature, who you are, is not the creation of your mind. The mind has only one thing to create. It's a negative creation. Negate the impurities. Negate Tamasic, Rajasic movements of the mind. Let me meditate upon the teachings of the Siddhas, who have revealed to me the treasure of all treasures, the self that abides deep within my heart. Let me discover that treasure in silence. Having discovered the treasure of the self, I have attained the fulfillment of all desires. It's called tripti, for student of Vedanta to have more clear understanding. Panchadashi deals with this topic, and I'm just giving with simple highlights. In order to understand tripti, absolute fulfillment, try to follow the cause from the beginning stage to the end. Beginning stage is avidya, ignorance. Ignorance that puts you in a state of not knowing. I am Brahman. That Brahman is completely out of your mind. Avidya, ignorance. Led by avidya, avarana develops. Avarana means as a veil of illusion before your mind. Avarana causes vikshepa. Vikshepa, distractions. Because since your vision is veiled, you don't really know what you want. And you are going after so many things. In this process of Vikshepa, your soul has gone through many embodiments and has also practiced sadhana in many levels. Now comes a state of paroksha jnana. Paroksha jnana is indirect knowledge. Indirect knowledge that you gain by study. But even while you study, indirect knowledge will not enter your mind unless you go through certain spiritual disciplines. Now, after indirect knowledge, led by your profound meditation and vichar, you attain aparoksha jnana. Aparoksha means direct knowledge. When there is direct knowledge, means self-realization. Now comes nirankusha tripti. Human satisfaction is always conditioned. It's allegorically described that it's like old-time elephants were controlled by ankush, something spear-like on their head. The Mahavat that drives the elephant keeps that ankush. So whenever he wants the elephant to be under control, he just pinches a little. So your satisfaction comes like an elephant. But the elephant is never safe. It's under ankush. There is, in other words, all your satisfying situations are on shaky ground. It has a time limit. It has certain control over it. You don't have absolute satisfaction. But when you have enlightenment, revelation, who am I? That's absolute satisfaction. That's the goal of life. Just as during winter, the clouds stop drifting and quietly adorn the mighty peaks of the Himalayas, so have my restless desires stopped their wanderings. It's all allegorical, that's why. If you are in a state of ignorance, your desires, restless desires, are like clouds, opaque clouds, not innocently there, all thundering, lightning, fighting in a turmoil. But when a person becomes enlightened, now those clouds no longer restrict the glory of the sun. They become soft, silvery clouds. And they rest on the mountain tops. So now they are glorifying the mountains. They are glorifying the sun. No longer obstructions. So that's what happens to your mind. Now mind has become those like silvery clouds. Just as fog and mist dispersed by the shining rays of the sun, in the same way the mind is resolved by the light of discrimination. Let me meditate upon the teachings of the Siddhas. who have revealed to me the treasure of all treasures. Adorations to the light of wisdom. The illusions that this body is mine, or I am the body, or the objects of the world are mine, have all been dispelled. For simple understanding, when you wake up from your dream, all that you experienced in your dream world, now going back a little in that description, if you are experiencing dream, everything seems real to you. You are moving around. It's not real you, but it doesn't make much difference. The world before you in your dream, not a grain of that world exists, not a needle point. And then you have your predicament. You are facing certain challenge in your dream and you are trying to resolve it. And sometimes you are in a positive situation. And sometimes you are frustrated, you get into some tragic situation. Section 10. King Janaka continues to practice silent reflection. Sage Vasishta continued, O Rama, though the royal attendants and gatekeepers continued to urge the king to resume his daily duties, he remained immersed in his practice. It's just a spicing of the story. Spicing means no matter, whenever you take up a project, and if you are deeply involved with the project, you are not disturbed by people. If you are not deeply involved, then you are always complaining. I could have done that, but someone near and dear one, my brother, my wife, my husband, someone didn't want me to. So you always find people obstructing your movement. But when you are deeply interested, deep down thinking within your own heart, how you feel, and that feeling movement is not dependent on, do you like it? This is the way I feel. Like it or not, you go into it. So if Brahma Vichar becomes the source of great joy within your heart, then as if you have gone into a cave or gone into a certain part of your building and closed the door, and all people are waiting and shouting, come out, come out, but you will not. But if you adopt that type of picture in your sadhana, you are going wrong way. Try to understand that when integral yoga is practiced in daily life, your Godward movement remains unrestricted. It's not dependent upon whether you have closed your doors or whether people have gone away and sounds have stopped. Nothing. You are not distracted by anything. Learn from the bees, honeybees. They go on enjoying the honey. They are not distracted by the whole world. The king reflected thus. This kingdom of mine is of no worth. It is a perishable possession. The whole world of me and mine. Nothing exists, nothing belongs to me. That has to be digested in a joyous way, not a shocking way. Oh, I'm going to lose everything. You are going to wake up from your dream, and suddenly mind gets shocked. All these wonderful things. Can't get even one little thing. Please help me not to wake up. Therefore, having renounced these illusory objects of the world, I will abide in the self, even like the waves abide in the ocean. O Citta, Citta is mind, is as if addressing the mind. Give up your sly craving for the traces of joy that seem to proceed from the objects of the world. Same point, that happiness doesn't come from objects of the world. But led by your vasana, subtle desires, the illusions comes in the heart that if I have that object, I'm going to be very happy. But what you get, if you collect the objects of pleasure, all that you have collected is shadows of joy, shades of joy. And shadows, if you put them all together and crush them, doesn't match up with the reality. Millions of shadows, put them together, and doesn't have even 1 ounce of reality. This is the description of all the pleasures of the world. And therefore Upanishad calls it alpam, little. Do not be immersed in the marshy lands of birth, old age, and death. That's the simple predicament led by karma. If you don't attain enlightenment, that's what is waiting for you. You are going to be, if you are, firstly, wherever you are going to suffer from disease, old age, death. And if you have not attained enlightenment, then you will go through the whole cycle in the next birth. If it is fascinating to the mind, that's fine. You will be again a baby and act in a very cozy manner. And you go viral. But your mind is mature, and then you understand that that's not, this can go on and on endlessly. You allow your mind to become enlightened. Don't go into the world process. Therefore, do not seek happiness from the objects outside. Seek happiness from the self within. This is an advanced understanding, a very clear insight. The true happiness will not be possible through your body, in the form of your possessions, in the form of your experiences through your mind and senses. True happiness can be experienced only through self-realization. All reflected suns, if they come together, they cannot find the sun. In the realm of reflections. But the real sun is not a matter of finding. Real sun is always there. The wrong way of looking for the sun, the wrong way of finding happiness has to be corrected. But all these are advanced stage of teaching. It should not give the idea that you turn away from anything that makes you happy and go after anything that makes you miserable. Lots of experiences, progressive experience of peace, harmony, joy, that must continue. But no matter how happy you are in the world, that is not your goal. If you are enjoying Sattvic happiness, automatically you will be led to divine happiness. A channel opens. O sinful Citta, thinking of the objects of the world is a seed of evil. Therefore, try to discover the spontaneous love of God, love of the self, by renouncing your attachments to the objects of the world. The message here is, train your mind to shift from Vishaya Chintan to Brahma Chintan. That's easily said, but that's a big project for every soul. Vishaya Chintan. Vishaya Chintan means constantly thinking of past, present, and future. Constantly burdening your mind with so many misunderstandings and experiences of pleasure and pain led by your karmas. Mind is constantly involved with what's called Vishaya Chintan. Always thinking about the world, from morning till night. That's what the predicament of the masses, what they do. They're watching the news from morning till night. And now modern equipments have given them bigger possibility for mental distraction. Not only you are disturbed, you call out to relatives living far away and start showing to them the injury you have received on your finger. So Vishaya Chintan has extended to such an extent. A profounder change has to occur internally. Continue with the world according to the practical reality in a skillful way. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. Continue, but understand your goal is not to stay with the world. Your goal is to attain liberation. Your goal is to find the real happiness, which is the self. O sinful Citta, thinking of the objects of the world is a seed of evil. Therefore, discover the spontaneous love of the self by renouncing your attachments to the objects of the world. When Vishaya Chintan begins to stop, automatically you begin to discover love, love that is profound. And what you are loving, the source, Brahman or God, is the embodiment of love. Let me remind you of Lord Hanuman's statement to Rama. Rama asked, how is he related to, ask Hanuman, how am I related to you? Hanuman says, Deha buddhyatu dasoham. From the point of the body, I am your slave, you are the master, which is a cozy experience. Nothing to do with slavery aspect. It's a very positive statement. Jiva buddhya tadanshaka. To the extent I am a soul, I am a ray and you are like the sun. And from the profoundest point of view, I am you, you are me. All these three must enter your life day by day. As long as you are working with physical world, go after it with all detail and precision because it is a part of your sadhana. Deha buddhyatu dasoham. To the extent all this is demanded by your body, you are a slave. Your body itself is a channel. And therefore, continue to understand that your body and all your actions are a kind of worship. And you continue to flow in that direction. But while you do, at another level, understand you can experience and develop those virtues that radiate from God. You can grow in the image of God. You are an ansha of God. You are a ray and God is like the sun. Therefore, do not limit your mind to the cultivation of virtues. And finally, with enlightenment, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, I am that. All these three must begin to enter. And that's another way of saying you are practicing integral yoga in life. He's talking to his mind. What is desirable in this world that you must endeavor to realize? What is that imperishable attainment to which you must pin your faiths? What are you to accomplish through my actions or my inaction? The idea again is mind always looks for. If you say don't do karma, the mind gives you the idea just to stop inaction, sit somewhere, find a cave and go into samadhi, learn from the bears. And then there is another another set of people who can encourage you, continue to do karma. So karma and akarma, they seem to be the choice of your mind. But the fact is, karma and akarma is a life's reality. Just like in the day you are awake, in the night you sleep. So, no matter how karma and akarma move in your life, turn to absolute cessation of karma by adding vikarma to it. Vikarma is yajna, spirit of yajna that we have been talking about. In other words, whether you sit quiet, you are active in a spiritual way. Or you are not sitting quiet, very busy. You are enjoying inner peace in a profound. So your external flow led by your karma is not contradicting your inner attainment. There is nothing in the world which is not afflicted by birth and death, beginning and end. All that is born must perish. This is the nature of the world. So the world called Jagat Janjal. Another village language is Jhanjamanj. Jhanjamanj chadkar Ram Naam bhajan. Give up this messy entanglement and turn towards God. Turn towards your spiritual attainment. With this, I'm concluding. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti